Hello, how are you today? Today I'm going to work with Pebeo's Prism Fantasy paints. I don't know if they're really paints. I've done a little bit of research on them and there's not a whole lot that I've found. I kind of gave up after a while. But essentially they're a solvent that somewhat acts like paint. They come in these little jars and you have to stir the devil out of them. Kind of like resin. Or an enamel paint. There's a layer on top that separates from the rest of it. So you have to stir it really well to get it all blended together. So because Pebeo is c'est français, a lot of their stuff is in French, but there is a little bit of English on here that says it's a solvent-based effect colors that can be mixed together, opaque, bright, smooth finish. The effects reveal itself while drying, resulting in a unique and magic appearance. Easy to use on flat and horizontal surfaces, can be applied on all surfaces. Mix thoroughly before use. One of the things that I did find somewhere, it might have been on their website or somewhere, I can't remember, but it did say to let it dry for 72 hours. So when I use this, of course, it's done in stages, just like everything else that I do. But this is what it does. It's really, really cool, and I love doing them and love working with them. This particular set is a honeycomb set. So it creates these honeycomb effects when they're mixed together like that. So pretty cool. Can you see? Sorry, I never know where my camera is. These were gifted to me by somebody, and if you're watching, you know who you are. Thank you very much. She's always been a very good supporter of mine since day one, and I appreciate her. And anyways, these were a gift. There's a set of 10, and then I actually went and bought another one because the set didn't come with like a dark color, like a black or anything. So I actually went out and bought this one. It's called Onyx. It's not really black. It's more of a dark granite. But I think this is the closest thing that they have to black. But the colors are really nice. If you work with Pebeo's paints, especially their metallics and iridescents, you know how nice they make their shiny things. So this is shiny. The colors are beautiful. So I'll run you through the colors really quick. This one is Onyx, so it's like a dark granite. They do have one that's a little bit more of a lighter gray, a silver color. This one is called Moonstone, so it's really pretty. I have Violet, so a purple. This one, I love this one. This one is Midnight Blue, so it's like a beautiful shiny navy dark blue. They have Emerald. It's not very emeraldy, but it is a really pretty green, light green color. Actually, not all that dissimilar from their iridescent blue-green. So that's kind of nice. And then on that train of thought, they have a turquoise, which is quite similar to their iridescent green-blue. So those are kind of cool. I'd be interested to see how they match up if I put the paint colors the actual paint acrylic colors next to them. This one is eggshell white and English red, which is more of a kind of like a watermelon pink to me. Icy pink, very pretty. And then they have what I'm going to call two different golds. This one is antique gold, so it's more of a kind of like an artist loft gold. It has that darker antique-y look to it. And then this one is called Buttercup, But if you ask me, it looks like 24 karat gold. It's very bright and yellow gold. Anyways, those are the colors that I have. They do sell them in sets, and then they also sell them separately. So if you have Pebeo in your store, in the store that's local to me, they have a small section, sadly, a very small section of Pebeo products, and all of their paints and their different, they have vitriol. I don't know what any of that stuff does. All I know is a paint and this stuff, and I like it. So these ones here were covered with resin. So I let them do their 72-hour cure, and then I have these handy in my resin room, just on a little tray, and when I have literally like the smallest little drop of resin, I'll just drop some resin on top of them and then they're good to go. I have some here that have cured, and I'll resin these for you in this video. So the different colors, I used some of them, not all of them. You know, your usual suspects, the blues, turquoises, and purples. But they're really, I mean, you can mix all of the colors together and they do such cool designs. Can you see? Sorry, over here. There we go. Anyways, I will resin those later just to show you how small of an amount of resin it takes. Now I have purchased just bezels. These are, some people call them tray. I call them bezels. I also call them trays. But these jewelry bezels. And then I have ones that came, jewelry bezels that I ordered that came with the glass cabochons that go over top. And those are the cabochons I use for jewelry that I'm making with acrylic skin. But some of these bezels have like a concave surface on them. And I found that if the surface of the bezel is not very, these ones are good, but this one's not. If the surface of the bezel is damaged or flawed or concaved or shaped, it's hard to get the glue on there and make it look really nice. So I'm actually going to use these ones just with the Pebeo honeycomb paints, and then I'll put resin on top of them, and then I don't have to worry at all about any silver spots or anything like that. This doesn't have any silver spots. There's no flaws in it at all with using this with resin. So similar to making jewelry with acrylic skins, but different products. So maybe not that similar after all. I don't know. So I also tried to make some earrings. I have some post earrings and some fish hook earrings, and I just have them stuck in a little piece of foam just to kind of hold them level, because they'll need to be level for when they were needed to be level for when I put the solvent in, and then they'll need to be level for when I put the resin in. Some of them didn't really do a honeycomb effect. Some of them did, and some of them didn't. They're still pretty. They're going to be shiny as all get out when they have the resin on them. They'll still, I mean, the colors are still gorgeous. And I don't sell my earrings for a whole heck of a lot of money anyway, so not too concerned about it. Now, this solvent can be used, like it said, on any flat surface. I did a little experiment, and I might do something more with this in the future. But what I did, just to, because I've got an idea, is I used some cern relief and drew a little heart with the cern relief. And I've seen people use this with resin, and it works really good to kind of hold in, makes like a little dam. It's not any much different than using a glue to create a barrier. But anyways, I used the cern relief to create a little barrier, and then I put the honeycomb stuff inside of this just to see what would happen. And it turned out fine. It did exactly what it was supposed to do, and it's giving me an idea for a future project. So if that ever comes to you know, to reality, I'll let you know. So in the meantime, I am going to do some of these little pieces, and hopefully as the video goes along, you'll see how this stuff behaves. It's actually kind of cool. I do take a little bit of a small, like a little coffee stirring stick, and prop these up a little bit because you want them to be level. And with the, with the bail or with the attachment on the bezel, sometimes they don't sit that level. So I just do that. I do that when I resin it too, just to make sure that it's sitting nice and flat and it isn't sitting at an angle and everything rolls to one side. If that makes any sense at all. Okay, so now to decide what colors I want to do. I actually want to try these ones together. I think they'll be pretty. So if you ever doubt my affection for you, don't, because I spent a half an hour stirring this stuff up to get it ready, and I have a little bit of tendonitis in my hands, so it hurts. Anyhow, enough whining. So when the bottle is a little bit fuller, you can see that, some of that solvent, whatever it is that makes its magic, sits underneath the rim of the bottle. So you have to, work at it a little bit to get that all stirred in. And as this stuff sits, sometimes the heavier parts of it will sink to the bottom and create kind of like a clay bottom that you have to, get pretty enthusiastic with your stirring to get it out of the bottom and get it all mixed together again. Some of these had some pretty good clumps of stuff that was on the bottom, but I think I got most of them stirred up properly. So I'm just going to start, and because my bezels are small, you really want to make sure that you're controlling how much you're using, because it doesn't take a whole lot. Another similarity with this stuff in resin is that it shrinks down. So it will look like you're overflowing, and then as it cures, it actually shrinks back and leaves that little lip around the edge, which is fine because then you have free space to drop the resin in there. But just be careful that it will overflow if you use too much, and it doesn't take a lot at all. So what I do is I just use these craft sticks, wipe them off, get a small amount on my stick, and just slowly start dropping it into the bezel. And I'll just kind of randomly, I don't really ever really have a plan. I'm sure if you had a plan, you could map out a better composition than what I do. I just kind of dump it in there and call it good. So that was the eggshell white, which looks like a pearl white. It's just beautiful. Pearl white is one of my favorite colors. This is icy pink. It's a beautiful shiny pink. Almost like a silver pink, but there's no silver. I don't know, it just is metallic-y prettiness. That's all I gotta say. And then this one is the English red, which does not look red to me at all. Hopefully, I don't know if I've ever used it. It's pretty full. I'm not sure I've used it. I think I have. Anyhow, let's just get it in there. Okay. I've had these products actually for quite a while, and I did make these other ones. Oh, I don't know. It's been, it has been more than 72 hours. But they've continued to work really well. So I don't know if they have, I didn't see an expiration date or anything on the packaging. I'm not sure if they expire in any way, shape, or form. Or those colors are really pretty together, actually. All right, so next one, I'm going to do this one here. What color should I do? Let's do this turquoise. The product does get a little bit of a, kind of a little bit of a crust along the edge. I just wipe it off with a paper towel. I've only ever had problems with this product once, and it was actually using that pink and the white together. It didn't do its normal reaction. It dried perfectly fine and it was super pretty. It just didn't do the honeycomb effect, and I don't know if it was because I didn't stir it well enough or what I did. But as you can see, I used those colors in this one, and it worked fine. So I have a feeling that it was because of something that I did. I didn't stir it well enough. But that's really the only problem I've ever had with it. And because they're so pretty, it was really not a big, huge loss. Even when it didn't do its effect, it was still really pretty to look at. And because you use such a small amount of this, it kind of lasts a while. That's why I was putting it on that paper with the cern relief barrier, because I have an idea that might require a little bit more product. And you don't torch this stuff. You don't have to worry about getting rid of air bubbles. There's not a whole lot of air bubbles anyways, but I've never seen it dry with a bubble problem at all. I think because it takes a little while to cure, it will just kind of work itself out. Oops. Got a little blob in there. Okay, well, I'll add another one then. There. So you can kind of see how this one is starting to do its thing. This way. It's starting to react and move around. It's very similar to resin. I am not a chemist, so I have no clue what's in these. It doesn't say on the packaging. And yeah, it just, mystery. It's a mystery to me. It's fun. It's pretty. That's all I need to know. Okay, I think I'm going to do a blue and silver one in this one. Because it kind of looks like the moon and the stars, so I want it to be with that train of thought. So once I have these done with the resin on them, this is going to get put away until after the new year when I may need them again. I still have to do some acrylic skin. I was all gung-ho to do some because I was going to go into a market, but I kind of hemmed and hawed about actually following through on the market because we could see down the pipeline that things up here were going to change as far as, you know, what our government was deciding to do about restrictions and all that kind of stuff. So I'm glad I did, because the deadline day, the day before the deadline day to pay for the to pay for the market, they changed the restrictions, and most of the markets have been canceled. So that's looking pretty full. I can't really put any more in it right now, so I'm going to, I do want just the tiniest little drop of blue right in the middle, just to kind of break up that silver. Hopefully that doesn't come back to overflow. There we go. Ah! Got it on my hand. Perfect. Okay. One more. So the only colors I haven't used yet are the purple. I used those three, and that one. I've used the purple. I don't know. Do I want to use purple and gold? Let's do purple and gold. And then I also have that buttercup color together. I'm not sure. What do you think? These colors go together? I don't think so. So you can even see inside the bottle now that I've stirred things up that it's doing its thing. Can you see? Stop moving! All right. I think I'm going to do purple and gold. I don't know if that's going to look any good. Maybe I'll add the pink too. That's a lot. Okay. I'm going to have to go with the old gold. You know me, I am not... I think I'm the only person in the world that doesn't really like 24 karat gold. I'm more of an old gold girl, I guess. This bezel's a little bit deeper with that concave bottom, so I'm going to put a couple more drops in here. So I used every color except for the buttercup, which is the, you know, the more yellowy gold color. Let me know which color you think is the nicest. I love the blue and the silver personally. I think that looks pretty cool. So I will bring you in close and put this on fast forward, and you can kind of see. I'll leave it for about, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour or so, and you can hopefully kind of watch it develop on a little faster speed and see all the cool things that happen as it works. Okay, so here's a close-up of the pendants a couple hours later. So these are pretty much, I think, done moving around. Sorry for the light reflection there. You probably saw me mess around with this one. I don't know what happened there. You know, I've had that problem with the white before, with the eggshell white, when I mixed it with the pink. I mixed white and pink together, just the two of them, and it didn't do anything. So I don't know if it's just the mixture of those two colors or what. I have used the eggshell white before and it was fine. And there's eggshell white in that one and it's doing its thing. This one here kind of looks a little, almost looks a little muddy. I don't know if that was the gold that I put in there with that light pink or what the heck happened there. This one's super pretty. I like these two. Those two are really nice. The only thing is I wish I was paying attention better and had used a silver bezel instead of a bronze bezel to go with that, that silvery color that I put in there. But too late now. Can't do anything about it. It's still pretty. I'll head over to my resin room and resin those other pieces that are ready to go. So see you in a bit. They really are shiny. Let me see if I can pick one up without totally destroying it. They really are shiny, lovely. You probably can't see, but it's just like metallic and iridescent. I would say metallic paint because it doesn't really shift color like iridescent paint does. But it's like a metallic paint. It just has that sheen to it. Absolutely. Whoops. See, I stuck my finger in it. Absolutely gorgeous. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for hanging out. See you again soon. Bye.